Hey everyone! I am glad to see you today, so we will discuss important things that relate to our health. After 70, health checkups become a regular part of life. Most people think the more tests, the safer they'll be. But the truth is, not every checkup is helpful. In fact, some can bring more harm than good, causing stress, unnecessary treatments, or risky procedures. Today we'll talk about 5 checkups seniors should think twice about after 70. I'll also share real stories of people who went through these tests, what happened afterward, and what safer options exist instead. Let's start with number 5. Checkup number 5. Bone density scan, or DEXA scan. At first glance, a bone density scan seems harmless. You lie down, a quick scan is done, and you walk away with a number. The test measures bone strength and is often used to detect osteoporosis. But here's what many seniors aren't told. After 70, these scans almost always show some bone loss, even if it's not dangerous. Why? Because bone loss is part of natural aging, just like wrinkles or gray hair. The problem is what happens next. Many people are prescribed medications right away, even for mild results. Some of these drugs can cause jaw pain, severe reflux, or even fragile bones that break more easily. And studies show the benefit of these drugs in people over 70 is often very small. Let me give you an example. Rose, a 76-year-old retired piano teacher, was sent for a scan during a routine checkup. She had never broken a bone and stayed active by walking daily. Her results showed mild bone loss, and she was given medication. Within months, she developed painful side effects and even had to stop playing piano. Eventually, she stopped the medication and focused instead on vitamin D, calcium-rich foods, and gentle strength training. A year later, she was stronger, balanced, and still fracture-free. The lesson here is simple. If you haven't had fractures and you stay active, lifestyle choices often protect your bones far better than a scan followed by unnecessary medication. Checkup number 4. Brain MRI for memory loss. Now let's talk about brain scans. Many seniors worry about memory, forgetting names, misplacing keys, losing focus. The fear of dementia is real, so doctors sometimes order MRIs. The problem? In most people over 70, MRIs show abnormalities that are actually just normal signs of aging. Small spots or shrinkage can appear, but they don't always mean disease. Unfortunately, once something shows up on a scan, panic often follows. George, a 74-year-old retired engineer, is a good example. He was still sharp, but noticed minor forgetfulness. His MRI showed changes that scared him into thinking he had dementia. He stopped driving, stopped going out, and his anxiety grew worse. Later, simple memory tests proved he was normal for his age. Once he focused on sleep, hydration, and mental exercises, he felt like himself again. The truth is, unless there are serious symptoms, like seizures or sudden personality changes, an MRI often creates more stress than answers. A far better first step is a basic memory test in the doctor's office. It's quick, safe, and gives a much clearer picture without the risk of unnecessary follow-ups. Checkup number 3, cardiac stress test. At first glance, a cardiac stress test sounds like a smart idea. Walk on a treadmill, get your heart monitored, and see if your arteries are clear. But once you're over 70, this test often creates more problems than solutions, especially if you don't have clear symptoms of heart disease. Why? Because the accuracy isn't great in older adults. In fact, false positives, when the test shows a problem that isn't really there, can be as high as 40%. And what follows a false alarm? More tests, angiograms, stents, or even bypass surgery. Procedures that often don't improve survival or quality of life, but carry real risks like bleeding, kidney injury, or complications from anesthesia. Take Raymond, a 75-year-old retired mailman. He walked every day, but mentioned he sometimes felt tired going uphill. His doctor ordered a stress test, just in case. The results were unclear, so he was sent for a catheterization. Doctors found a mild narrowing, and placed a stent. That night, Raymond had a severe reaction to the contrast dye, damaging his kidneys. He spent nearly a week in the hospital, and his fatigue didn't improve because it wasn't even heart-related. He simply needed better hydration and rest. If you don't have chest pain during activity, shortness of breath while climbing stairs, or sudden drops in energy, a stress test may do you more harm than good. Safer alternatives include a simple resting EKG or a coronary calcium scan, low-risk tests that give useful information without pushing you into unnecessary surgery. Checkup number 2, colonoscopy. Now let's move to number 2, colonoscopy. This one surprises many people because we've all been told it's the gold standard for cancer prevention. But after 70, and especially past 75, the risks often outweigh the benefits. Here's why. The preparation involves powerful laxatives that can cause dehydration, dizziness, and kidney issues. Sedation carries its own dangers, including confusion and memory problems in older adults. And the procedure itself can lead to complications like bleeding, irregular heart rhythms, or even a bowel perforation. In fact, a large 2019 study on seniors found that for every 1,000 colonoscopies in adults over 75, only 2 lives were saved. But more than 20 people suffered serious complications. That's a 10-to-1 risk-to-benefit ratio. Dana, a 73-year-old grandmother, learned this the hard way. She had no symptoms, no family history, and 2 clean colonoscopies in the past. But her new doctor still urged her to do another one. During the procedure, a tiny polyp was removed, but later that night she collapsed from a bowel perforation. She spent 9 days in the hospital recovering, for something that probably didn't need to be done at all. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force now recommends stopping routine colonoscopies at 75 for most people. Safer options exist, like the FIT stool test, which is non-invasive, done at home, and still detects most dangerous cases. No sedation, no prep, and no major risks. So before agreeing to a colonoscopy in your 70s, ask, do I really need this? Are there safer alternatives? Checkup number 1, full-body CT scans. And finally, number 1, the full-body CT scan. It's often marketed as the ultimate preventive test. Private clinics and executive health programs sell it as a way to catch cancer early. But here's the shocking truth. For adults over 70, this test may cause far more harm than good. A single full-body CT exposes you to radiation equal to about 500 chest X-rays. And that exposure isn't harmless. Research suggests that up to 5% of all cancers in the U.S. may now be linked to medical imaging like CT scans. That means a test that's supposed to protect you could actually raise your risk of the very disease you fear. And it doesn't stop there. These scans often find tiny nodules, cysts, or calcifications that are simply part of aging. But once spotted, they set off alarm bells. More scans, more biopsies, sometimes even surgery. And in many cases, the results show nothing dangerous, just normal age-related changes. Marcus, an energetic 80-year-old martial arts instructor, discovered this the hard way. He felt perfectly healthy but signed up for an elite senior checkup package. His CT scan showed a small nodule in his lung. Doctors ordered a PET scan, then a biopsy. The nodule turned out to be harmless, but the biopsy collapsed part of his lung. He spent 2 months recovering, all from something that never needed to be touched in the first place. Medical experts are clear. Routine full-body CT scans are not recommended for healthy, symptom-free adults. If you have specific symptoms, like unexplained weight loss, coughing blood, or a visible lump, then targeted imaging can make sense. But scanning your whole body just in case is like digging for treasure in a minefield. You may find something, but the risk of damage is far greater. So there you have it. 5 checkups that may seem helpful, but in reality can bring more harm than good once you're past 70. Medicine is powerful, but it's not perfect, and sometimes the wisest choice is to do less, not more. Before agreeing to any test, ask yourself and your doctor, What happens next if this test shows something? Do the benefits truly outweigh the risks? And remember, the strongest prevention doesn't come from endless scans or procedures. It comes from daily choices, staying active, eating nourishing foods, sleeping well, and keeping your mind engaged. Now we'd love to hear from you. Have you or someone you care about ever gone through an unnecessary test or procedure that caused more stress than help? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might help someone else make a wiser decision. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more life-changing insights on healthy aging.